That is crazy. This works. This is the Zephyr gaming mouse, and you might be thinking, are we really about to talk about a gaming mouse? Yeah, we are. But why? What makes this mouse worthy of a video? Well, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I like to experiment with different fan designs, 3D print stuff, and do all kinds of crazy stuff just for the sake of fun. And, well, some would actually say I overdo it, but I don't know, hard to tell. But when Zephyr reached out and was like, hey, we got this new mouse prototype that we're getting ready to launch. Would you like to take a look at it? Initially, I was like, nah, not really, it's just a mouse. But then they're like, it's got a fan in it to keep your palms dry. And I was like, what? A mouse with a fan? I think I would be doing the world a disservice if I didn't look at a mouse with a fan in it. Before we look at this fan, let's talk about the mouse, because honestly, if it sucks at being a mouse, nothing else really matters. Now keep in mind, this is not their final version. This is just a working prototype of a mouse that they're going to use to launch a Kickstarter for this product. So just keep that in mind as we go through this, that this is just a prototype. The mouse layout is pretty standard. You got 7 buttons, left and right mouse button, a scroll wheel, a DPI select button, forward and back buttons, and on the bottom you got a 7th button, and this is where you control your fan speed. The fan speed button allows you to select fan speeds of low, high, and off. And Zephyr currently has said that, or at least they told me, that the current high speed setting on this mouse is around 60 to 70% of the actual full speed final version. So as we test it in a little bit here, it's going to be faster than it is now. Button 4 currently allows you to select from one of 5 DPI settings on the PMW3389 sensor. When you select different DPI settings, it's color coded by an RGB, so you know what DPI setting you are based on the color of an RGB light. And they did say they are going to add a 6th setting, a lower DPI setting that they have now, 400 DPI. So this has 5, but the finished model will have 6. The mouse itself feels comfortable in your hand. It slides really well. The first thing I noticed what do I use now? I use this Corsair Harpoon, and based on just being used to that one, this mouse felt real light, slid real easy, and then I got out the scale, weighed it. It weighs 83 grams, like the mouse I have now. I'm told that the final version will be weighing around 68 grams, which blew my mind because I thought 83 felt light, at least compared to this beast, this Harpoon. It felt light, and I liked it. It felt good, felt quick, and the sensor felt very precise. But I mean, if you make it lighter, it'd probably be even better. Then of course you have RGB. How could you ever forget about RGB? And currently the configurations are normal. You get the normal RGB presets, and you change them with the left and right mouse click button, and then you hit the bumpers to kind of scroll through the lighting effects. The problem with this is right now on the one that I have, there's no off. It's on or one of the presets. So that's kind of a bummer. But they did say that they know about this and they will, add a function to just go off in future in the actual production model. And then they said that they are looking to consider adding a dimming function, because right now the RGBs they're pretty bright and they're always on. I mean, having an off switch would be good, but I think you should be able to control the levels. Rather than go on off, there should be like steps like you see on keyboards a lot, where you got high, low, lower, and then off, which would be good. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. In the daytime, it's not a big deal, but when you're gaming at night, I know when it's dark in here, I have normally just that backlight on, and it can be bright. Obviously, your hand covers up most of it, so it's not a big deal. So then that brings us to the star of the show, the fan. So what's the deal with it? Well, the idea is that it can help keep your palms dry during long gaming sessions, which might sound gimmicky at first. At least it did to me when I first heard about it. But after using it, believe it or not, it does move air and it does work. Now, I don't suffer from really sweaty palms, but I sweat a lot in my face. So if I had that issue with my palms, I could definitely see how something like this could be beneficial to somebody that has an issue where they get sweaty hands, because it'd be a bummer. I mean, they do get kind of clammy sometimes, and I did notice, well, using this with the fan on, that they didn't, I guess. I mean, it worked. It's weird enough to say. I guess it makes sense. I mean, given the lattice design of this mouse and active air movement, it's going to aid in evaporation, which is going to keep your hands cool and dry. So they have something new here. And for some people with super sweaty palms, that's going to be a huge deal to them. So that's the best part of this. Is that it's a product. It's just a gaming mouse. It's a good gaming mouse. I actually was using it and quite enjoying it. But it helps solve a problem that maybe not all of us have, but some of us who do. It's going to be noticeable. And for those people, this product will improve the quality of their gaming experience, which is good for everybody. But in its current form, this prototype, it's not without its downsides. For one, the fan is loud. When I first turned it on, you could hear a slight hum, but when you get up close to it, it sounds very similar to the sound you hear on a graphics card when you overclock it, that coil whine. That's kind of what this fan sounds like at its highest setting. When you go to its lower setting, the medium one, I guess it's low because the next one's off, it's quieter. And I will say that the sound doesn't carry very far, but it is there. And I did reach out to Zephyr about this, and they said they know about it. This is not their final version of the fan. This is just a prototype. The future one, they're currently working on getting a better all-around experience to make the fan run quieter and smoother, because there is a slight vibration, especially on the highs. Medium or low, not really a big deal, but that is their goal, to get a better fan that runs quieter and smoother, and I think that'll be an improvement. Now, I'm just a dude telling you that this mouse fan moves air, but do you believe me? I don't know. I mean, I'd be skeptical, so I think we should test it in the only way I know possible. Smoke machine. So we're gonna have to rig up some sort of test function for this mouse. The idea is I want to see smoke come out of here, and I want to see it slowly seep across the table to the mouse with its fan on high, and I want to see some sort of movement. We're gonna see where the air goes. It feels like it goes to your palm, but for all I know, it just could be whipping it all over the place. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's just all in my head. But we're going to find out via this smoke machine after we set up some sort of test situation. So let's go over here. Over here, I just mean other side of the room. So this is the idea. Here's the old smoke machine we've used many times. And here's the plastic tote. So I'm going to take said plastic tote, put a hole in it, mount this little water barb fitting for a water cooling loop there, and we'll put the smoke machine in the tote, turn it on with the controller, and then it'll fill up the box with smoke, and then hopefully it'll just slowly come out of the tube onto the nice black table here. And we'll have the mouse sitting here with its fan on, and we'll see how it affects that little cloud of fog. And it should look sweet. Hopefully it'll move everything around, or if it doesn't, I'm just going to seem like a crazy person talking about how this fan works. But I swear, it felt like it did something. So we're going to find out once and for all. So let me put a hole in this box, and we'll see how the mouse goes. And just like that, it's Cooper. Just like that, the airflow, come here, sit down, sit down. There you go. Just like that, the airflow 9000 is set up, and the only thing left to do now is to observe its effect on said Zephyr mouse. We're gonna watch this and see what it does. Let's take a look. So just for some context, that's kind of how your hand sits on the Zephyr gaming mouse. So keep an eye on where my palm is, and we'll see how the smoke interacts with the little fan. There, gives you a good look. Actually looks kind of cool. It is working though. Actually works a lot better than I thought it would. Well, there you go. I guess there you have it. It does work. And I guess if you have a problem that this could solve, this is actually a great product for you, and it makes a really good mouse. So I didn't think it would be that effective. I mean, I could feel it, but it just pulls the air right off the table and then right out through the top, just like you would expect. But I don't know, it's amazing. Also, this cable, it's like it reminds me of a shoestring, and I really appreciate it because it doesn't like twist up or get caught up on things. But there it is, the Zephyr gaming mouse with active cooling for your palm. It's pretty cool. It does work. It's a good mouse. So if this is something you would like to back, on the Kickstarter to try to get your hands on one of them when they come out, because although this is just a prototype, it's actually a pretty decent mouse in and of itself, and when the new one comes out, I'm sure it's going to be even better. So I'll leave a link down below for where you can find the Kickstarter for this thing. Thanks you guys for watching, and I hope you had a good time messing around with the fog machine, because I always do. Till next time. Till next time. Oh yeah, fog machine. Bow, bow, bow. Oh, just so you know, the Airflow 9000 was a huge fail. It didn't work, so I have a revision to it in case you want to try this out, and that is a Tide bottle. You fill it up with smoke and just pour it on the table. It's way easier. Should have done that first. Bye!